Alright, well. First feast. We got 3 wolves. We've had 3 symbols, and we are the snake. So, we're actually doing really good. How you doing, Sabas? Alright. Auto... No. My main save. That's the recent one. How you doing today? I got to enjoy the earlier days today and play just a little bit of Payday 3. Can't wait to join in with my buddies and actually break the game like we used to back in the Payday 2 days. Alright. Too bad we still lost the big guy. The big reporter. Sad, but, you know. Yeah, no problem. No problem whatsoever. So let's see what this game's going to allow me to do with the snake, with the power of the snake. Even though my guy doesn't know how to use the power of the snake. Alright. The lighting was poor, making everyone's illuminated faces stand out more. Felt unnatural. Well, since this is the first feast, I have absolutely no idea. Let's see here. If I were to hazard a guess, since everything's been shifted around, I think Haruka here is one of them. Let's see here. That's the only one I can think of. One that's acted pretty differently, more than normal. I mean, he barely got to react with us. He's just being defensive about everything. But then again, you know, there's a killer on the loose, and we're just trying to find out. So he's trying to protect himself. So, yeah, I think she's one of them. And hopefully I'll be able to figure that out. A whole other world. Everyone's seated then. Let's begin the Feast of the Yomi Purge. And so it began. Urged by Yamawaki-san, Rikako, as though understanding her implications, went deeper into the room. And after a bit messing around, returned to us without tripping. In her hands, she held a labelless bottle. Alright, she didn't trip. She's suspicious. She's not being her klutzy self. Alright, this is Divine Sake, presented to Shinaya-sama. Please drink it, starting from the guests. Rikako sat down next to Mamiya and gave her an aged sake cup. Do I have to? Yes, it wards off the corruption. Mamiya didn't reply, but still took it. Rikako then filled it with sake. Is everyone drinking this? Drink as much as you want. We have a lot of sake. Hisako glared at the cup, smelled it, and then just drank it all down. She sure looked like she could hold her liquor. It's normal, good quality sake. It smells fruity, like ginjo. Impressed by her professionalism, I took a cup from her. Can you drink, Haruki? Bring it on. With a lighthearted reply, I let her fill the cup. I then drank it all. Yeah, it was actually pretty good. Seemed like a luxury, even. I had no idea how such a poor settlement got their hands on it. It didn't seem like I could ask for more, so I gave the cup to Maiko. Kako gestured for her just to pretend to drink it. Same for the students. Sake went through several people without anyone drinking. Now it's all adults. Here I go. And Shammy emptied it the moment she got it. Rikako, who'd been sitting next to her if it wasn't for Maiko, then took a sip herself, followed by Kaori until Kionosuke finally emptied what was left. Takumi drank 2 full cups, saying, "Some feast, huh? You get to drink sake during the day." Then the elders each emptied a cup. That was everyone, so Rikako took the bottle and cup and returned to her place. We done? Taiba, talk. We have people who do not know the story. You should start from the beginning. That's true. Well, let me tell you about it. Finally. Shinai-sama is the god of the mountain. Long ago, when this village was made, Shinai-sama's first guardian was the wolves. Okami-sama. The wolves protected the other guardians, the snake, monkey, crow, and spider from the Yomibito. What's the Yomibito? People who died and came back. Scary. It's fine. I'm with you. In Kamafuchi-yoshi, the Okami are still worshipped with Great Lord Shinai, even more revered than any other guardians. But here in Yasumizu, we have a different story. The Okami did protect humans, but also ate them. The Okami also forbade fire. That's why the people sought help from the snake, monkey, crow, and spider, and tricked the Okami. Rokako had called it Yasumizu's original sin. Last time, Chami was the one to tell me. Everyone here knew it, surely. And since Kiyonosuke and Rokako knew it, the village heads knew it as well. Kamafuji-yoshi's people, though, just continued to revere the Okami, the wolves. The people held a feast and gave the Okami lots of sake. The other guardians helped push the sake and the Okami, so the Okami got very drunk. Eventually, the Okami fell asleep. The people took the Okami and threw him in a Serenega. Fujiyoshi then prospered more than ever before, but every now and then, the Okami would rise from Yomi and eat people again. The Okami can pretend to be human, so the humans must find them, hang them, and slay them all. However, they can only hang one a day. That was one of Shinai-sama's rules. God just wants a bloodbath, man. They gathered like this and decided which one to slay. They'd call it the Feast of the Yomi Purge. The evening mist is a sign of the Okami's arrival, so everyone prepares. Take a bath, hole up in a house alone, and sleep well. That too is one of Shinai-sama's laws. Those who don't do it receive the corruption. Shinai-sama's divine punishment. Young lady, can you please stop writing? Of course the reporter's writing everything down. Mia was taking notes. She silently put away her notepad, and I couldn't read her expression at all. I'll explain everything you don't understand. Now, on the day of the evening mist, Shinai-sama brought the corruption, and the Okubo was marked with 3 symbols of the Yomatsu Okami. Sorry, but what is an Okubo? The stones you can find around Yasumizu. They seem to have been placed there by people, but no one really knows where they come from. Now, she's saying that she's going to tell us everything, but she's actually not. Yasumizu's people believe they should be respected. I heard that before the watering hole was created, the fires were lit atop the stones, so Okubo might mean place for kindling. That seemed like a weird idea to me, but I just kept listening. Yasumizu is poor, you see. The soil is bad, we get no sunlight. There are many wild beasts, but hunting them is always a matter of life and death. But because of the Okubo, we believe this place is special. I see. So what was that about symbols? Those diamonds with worlds on them, right? Yes, there are 3 of them, so there are 3 wolves. How do you know that? Is this a daily thing here? We have mountain festivals around here. Every year, the Miguruma dress up as guardians and walk around the village. The number of wolves is announced in a similar way. That matched what Chiemiya told me the last loop. Down to the part that there were a maximum of 3 wolves. Why 3? Because it's 2 parents and a child. Okay, that is definitely something I would have loved to have known last time. So, it's definitely 2 adults, and it's one of the children. Okay. I myself already imagined something like that. It turned out I was on the mark. It didn't seem all that important, though. After all, the wolves didn't have that manner of blood relationship last time. Yes. But you can't just, ignore any of the children. I can hardly believe that it happened too, but now that it did, the people of Yasumizu must hang the Okami. That's the reason why the village heads are so kind to us. It's our mission. Yoshi clicked his tongue and Yasunaga calmed him down. Takumi furrowed his brow as expected. The village heads, kind to Yasumizu inhabitants? The exact opposite was true, and many seemed to reject her words. However, she got the story across, and since no one pointed out any problems, was probably completely right. Fujiyoshi as a whole depends heavily on Yasumizu, so I also came to understand those words. Yasumizu existed to be the first line of defense if the wolves returned. The people here weren't some venerable soldiers, though. They were more like sacrifices. In the Shinai faith, Serenega was the entrance to the Yomi, so by letting someone live nearby, they could stop the resurrected wolves via the feast. In Yamawaki-san's story, this duty was something that Ken Fujiyoshi's family has rewarded in some way. Yes, there were only 2 wolves, but it was still an adult and a child. I'm not looking at 2 parents and their kid. I'm looking at 2 parents being 2 fully grown adults and then 1 child itself. So I'm looking at the age. So there's probably 2 full adults that are the wolves, and 1 of the children are going to be the wolves here. But there could be something going down later on the line that contradicts that. But until I see that, that seems to be true. It's going to be 2 adults and 1 child. This wasn't the time to focus on minor inconsistencies, though. There was something more important. I had to listen to see how accurate the rules she presented would be. Keeping my mouth shut, I waited until she'd gone over everything regarding the rules. Then I considered it all. We had these among us: 3 wolves, a snake, 2 monkeys, a crow, and a spider. Like I said, until I get more information, that theory is going to be stuck. That is going to be stuck in my head. Snake could write down the name of a still living person and place it by their pillow before bed to find out what they were. Thank God I'm being told this. The monkeys, upon receiving their guardians, would be informed about who the other monkey was. The crow would wake up to find out whether the person lynched the day before was a wolf or a human. We still didn't know who the crow was. The spider could write down the name of a still living person and place it by their pillow before bed to protect them from the wolves. The powers of these guardians were given out with no regard for blood. For the blood of the families as they were supposedly protecting. Their powers were to be used to discuss and lynch someone each day. There were 3 wolves. They would brutalize one of the humans every night. The wolves had to be purged before they killed all the humans. If you broke the rules, the god of the mountain would break forth the corruption, a supernatural death among you. Which makes me beg the question as to what Rikako was the first loop. Why she went insane. I have no idea what caused her to do that. That's a big mystery. Once the explanation was over, the room was filled with the sounds of discussion, but there was still something I had to confirm. I opened my mouth. Hold on, Taiba. There's something I don't understand. But Yasunaga was faster. What is it? You said the wolves only kill 1 person per night. Yes. But why? In Shinai-sama's court, even the Yomotsu Okami must do what he says. Why would he give them that rule, and why did they obey it? It's not for us to fathom. Another thing, if the wolves go for the spider's target, can they go for anyone else once they realize they failed? They can't. I was told if the spider stops the wolves, the humans sleep in peace that night. That only concerns if the wolves are the ones doing the killing. Because as we found on the first loop, the wolves can coerce other people to do the killing for them during the day. How do you know that? My grandmother told me a long time ago. You haven't participated in a feast before, have you? His strong tone made everyone freeze. He's a lot brighter and a lot more on point this loop. So I don't think he's... I think he's a guardian, but I don't think he's a wolf. He's definitely a lot... He's definitely different. Yasu, what's up with you? If there are feasts every time there's mist, someone here must have been in one, right? Asking all the correct questions. Otherwise, if I start asking these questions, everybody might be, you know, sussing me out. So, honestly, it's better that he takes charge and, you know, he takes control for the moment. But yeah, these are some good questions as to how she knows all this. So, if there are feasts every time there's a mist, someone here must have been in one, right? As far as I know, we had a mist just 8 years ago, and... Nichan, stop! Haru-chan raised her voice and attracted everyone's attention. Stop. I don't want to remember. But, Haru. I'll ask later, Yasu. My son and his wife died back then. Don't make Haru hear about it. I see. 8 years ago. She lost her parents. Gotcha. So that's how it was. Did you see the aftermath of the landslide uphill? It's been like that ever since the Nosato got to work on the place 8 years ago and it collapsed. It was all coming together. The landslide and Haru's parents' death both happened 8 years ago when there was mist. I wasn't in Yasumizu back then. Did you forget? I helped around the Kawafujiyoshi school you children were studying at. It's my first time. The feast probably happened while we were away. Something's making me not believe that. But my grandmother might have been in one herself. I see. But then again, the wolves do apparently get some sort of knowledge that compels them to kill, so that could also be a thing. Yasunaga backed down, but didn't seem all that convinced. Yeah, that's right. Stay suspicious. I also question how the rules of the feast can be passed down so perfectly, though through nothing but word of mouth. After all, rejecting the rules meant death. What if there are gaps in what we've just been told? Those who've never heard of the rules or participated in the feast wouldn't have a clue. From what I knew, Tai-san didn't mention 3 important rules just now. The wolves couldn't kill more than one person. Okay, no, she did say this. The wolves couldn't. No, she did not say that. If the Spire successfully stopped the wolves, they couldn't choose any other sacrifice for the night. No, she did clarify that one. The guardians were written in blood, and you couldn't show yours to anyone. The first 2 were pointed out by Yasunaga, okay. The last thing I heard from Kanzo wasn't mentioned yet. Yeah, she is withholding information. But the question is, why? Did she get chosen to be a wolf again? I wasn't too confident in this method of conveying the rules. If this was the way they've been passed down over the course of the feast-long history, it seemed to me that vital information would have been left out like this, resulting in everyone dying through unintended rule-breaking long ago. That would have ended the tradition, and the fact that it hadn't happened meant there might have been other ways of conveying information. In particular, they hadn't mentioned anything about the way the guardians were given. Leaving out the part about how they were revealed through blood text seemed particularly risky. Although, it could also be a protective thing where if you talk about that and someone say, oh yeah, that happened to me, you are immediately focused in on. So, there's a reason why you probably wouldn't want to say that. Because you don't want someone to jump the gun. After all, it's possible you could sleep it in and someone could come in and see without realizing, or you could roll around a bad way and rub it out. I highly doubt that. Well, if they said it was the same supernatural blood that didn't fade so easily, I'd have no idea what to make of that. Also, the possibility that you could walk around with the text on your stomach without realizing it was there. It took Kanzo pointing it out for me to go back and check. I'd like to ask more about it, but that was the same as telling the wolves I had a guardian. What a predicament. But it seemed like I had any time to think about it. Enough of that. We drink, listen to the hag, and pick someone to kill, right? How the fuck do we do that, huh? A reasonable question. The story is true. That means some of us are already dead and replaced, doesn't it? Oh no. Like hell that's true. Takumi had no patience for such superstitions. This is all the village heads' fault anyway. They want to have some of us off in the midst to dampen our spirits. Miro, what do you think they are? Rotten-brained scumbags who are behind the times. Don't act like you can deny that. But what do you do to kill a person that way? I don't know. Doesn't matter, Takumi. The wolves will kill us all if we sit back and do nothing. We gotta hang him in the feast. There's no other way. Old man. Saying that at this point was pretty much an admission that he'd been in a feast before. However, his sternness made it hard for anyone to point that out. And having experienced a feast or two before was actually an advantage in this situation anyways. After all, everyone would want to benefit from his knowledge and experience. Kanchan, how do we decide who to hang? Yamawaki's question made everyone look at Kanzo's face. You could tell how much they trusted him. Old man. Hey, you there. Fusayushi, right? Me? Yes? Can you die? I mean, yes? Everybody has the potential to die? Or is it that the wolves are invincible to anything but hanging? My mind came to a halt for a moment, and I couldn't find out how to respond. Uematsu, pour him some more. Makishima, just do it. Rikako argued no further and brought me a cup and the sake. You should not drink. It's fine. I will. Took the cup and she filled it up. What do you mean? I drank it all down. Then look over everyone's faces. They all lowered their gazes or looked away. Adults, children, the elders, even Chiemi. No one besides Kanzo looked into my eyes. I could see how it was. Someone's gotta die. We gotta decide who. The wolves will win if we don't. We can't waste a day, but no one's wreaking a wolf right now. We'll know more if one dies. Is he the crow? This is a very aggressive maneuver for the crow. I understood now. You want to start off by unmasking the crow. My death at the tree would be a chance for him to show themselves, since they know for certain whether I was a human or wolf. Kanzo really did know how the feast worked. He understood that victory depended on those with guardians, and so he chose me of all people. Since I was new here, I was easy to sacrifice. It preserved the group's unity and mental health. I could tell they would tolerate me being the one to hang. However, I couldn't let that slide. Yeah, I want to live! My current objective was to survive and escape. Not to mention I was the snake. My death would be really bad for the humans. However, you came here to die, didn't you? Die for us, will you? I guess my play is to announce I am the snake. What a good scenario. If I said I didn't want to die anymore, they probably wouldn't suspect me, but it wouldn't be good in the long run. They saw me as pathetic. I lose popularity, my word would start to mean less. The settlement was in danger. Kanzo was trying to take control of the situation. Everyone was okay with it. My words started meaning less to them. I'd be at a disadvantage, creating a situation where I, like the outsider I was, could be killed easily. My only option was to express that I was a person who shouldn't die, but be roundabout while doing it. I don't know. However, that would make me look dangerous, make it more likely for them to see me as a wolf. Pour some more. Jesus. But, please do. Oh, so now the reason it was making me drink was to get me drunk, maybe less resistant to being hanged. Well thought out. Couldn't get drunk from this, though. What a predicament. I had no choice but to man up. Wait, what are you about to say? Hisako cut me off. This wasn't too bad, so I shut up and let her talk. I can't just keep quiet and listen to you all. Are you all actually okay with that? If so, I can't play along. Mamiya. Don't you think this is weird? The tires burst and the next day we're caught up in something like this? I mean, the tires didn't burst, lady. I kind of punctured the tires, but I ain't telling you that. At first, I thought it was too old-fashioned for even you people, but now I actually believe this is some custom where you abduct and kill outsiders. That's wrong. Takumi's expression changed as he cut her off. I see your point, but that's accidental. Everyone here feels for you. But from what was said about Fusaishi, I'd be the one to go next, wouldn't I? No, you wouldn't. The only one saying that is old man Kanzo. Takumi. Listen, this ain't the way to do this. We should talk about who's shadier than the rest. No one is. We all reek the same. Talking ain't gonna help. What a weird time for the music to fade. We all reek? Even me? Why? It doesn't matter in the feast. The old yet robust man stood up and spoke aloud. There are monsters among us. I played way too many games of Among Us. They don't look like it now, but they'll kill us at night. That's the Feast of the Omi Purge. You won't win with emotions. Heh, monsters. Old age getting to you, huh? Yoshi, please stop. You believe in monsters, Hag? I don't. There's also the issue of the guy who puts nails in women's tires. Someone put them there? There's been any construction recently, right? People here barely have money for nails. Gotta be on purpose. Are you saying the village heads are responsible? Who else? They want to see people die, so they drag the outsiders into it. Huh, seems likely. Yes, that's right. Get them angry at the village heads. Preposterous, they're too busy for that. So they have you do it, huh? Youngin, you were sent by Higuchi, right? Now this was bad. He told you anything? Takumi, Yoshi, and even Mamiya stared at me. Well, Fusaishi? They now thought I could have been sent here by the village heads as an agent of theirs. That's a really good script. Especially since I actually was the one who burst the tires. Stop. I can't listen to this. Those are all just assumptions. What if you're wrong? Don't tell me I'll be okay because the mountain will forgive us or something. I don't care about forgiveness. We'll hang the wolves and protect Yasumizu. Not gonna ask Fusaishi anymore, and I ain't planning on arming the journalist. Harming. But nothing will change if no one dies, and I won't sleep right if I hang a woman or child. That's all I'm asking for. Then hang me instead. Oh, fuck no! That was unexpected. Everyone stared at the stern-faced Chiemi. Yasumizu is about to unfairly kill a new neighbor. Is that what's supposed to be like? If so, then I hate it. If you need a death, then kill me. Consider atonement for all the trouble I caused. Chiene, what are you saying? Yasu, I just went and thought about which of us I would prefer to die. And when Kanzo targeted Araki for a moment, I actually thought that seemed fine. I can't forgive that part of me that Yasumizu has made. So if you need someone to die, then kill me, Kanzo. Chiene, stop that. Yeah, I mean, there are other people that could take its place. He didn't respond. His face was a total blank. No, he actually seemed slightly vexed. Just as Serizawa says, if we seek a meaningless death from a guest, we cannot fault Mamiya for suspecting us the way she did. Then you do it. You're a fucking family head anyway. Fine by me. What are you saying? She's the last of the Uematsu, the protectors of dreams. How could you even suggest that? Shut up, you scrawny fuck. It is true that I have no guardian, and was simply getting everyone's way. But I am concerned about this girl. Using the brat to beg for your life, huh? Yoshi, shut already. And you stop playing the good guy. It's their fault that Mom's... It has nothing to do with Uematsu. Stop troubling Mom already. Yasu, Yoshi. I was at my limit. Though Kanzo's idea was reasonable, it's possible he too was being swayed by antagonism towards the village heads. If they moved based on that, or some sort of hatred, everyone would just become more emotional. People became wolves without any regard for bonds and relationships. I knew that well. That's why I couldn't let the feast take that turn and become heavily controlled by outside factors. There was also the fact that I wasn't just about to accept death. Then, could I let the volunteers die instead? I wasn't fond of that idea. Excuse me. I'm a monkey. There we go. That's what I want to hear. Might have underestimated the Feast of the Omi Purge. I couldn't control it at all. There were too many wills flashing from too many people. Surprised by Yasunaga's words, I fell silent and shot him a sidelong glance. Yasu, you... My guardian is the monkey. I don't like it one bit. The mountain sure works in mysterious ways, huh, Mom? You serious? I am. Yoshi Kanzo. I do believe that we must eliminate the wolves. But if we hang someone based on what happens outside the feast, we'll have major trouble in the future. There's still other things we could do. I'm a monkey. As such, I want the other monkey to present itself. Wait, Yasu. Guardians are too precious to reveal just like that. No, Tai. The monkeys are the only ones that should be revealed. You understand, Haru? Sorry, not at all. There are two monkeys, but they don't have any special powers. They're just monkeys. That means they're not much of a menace to the wolves. Revealing them instantly removes two suspects, making it easier to find the wolves. Oh yeah, they're just people, so they're safe. Now please show yourself. This was a trap. The monkeys knew who the other monkey was. He didn't have to ask them to name themselves. He could just point them out. He also emphasized that being a monkey meant you were no longer a suspect. He wanted to set a trap for any wolves who didn't have a good grasp of the situation. The wolf tried to pretend to be a monkey. Yasu and the other monkey would point it out, leading to the faker being hanged. Even if it didn't work, like he said, exposing the monkeys was a good way to get rid of two suspects. Everyone who knew how the monkey worked would understand this, but as things were, it wasn't unlikely that a wolf could fall for it. It was a simple and creative idea with no risks involved. And now that he'd come out as a monkey, he was confirmed to be human. It made me more relieved than anyone else here. That meant that he, the one who had a flawless victory as a wolf last loop, wouldn't be an enemy this time. I already knew that the Guardian assignments were completely different than last time, but this was still a nice thought. However, that idea was quickly flipped around. Yasu, don't go acting big on your own. Big? Monkeys can reveal themselves? How many of y'all agree with that? Oh, shit. It's gonna be one of those arguments, huh? The only ones who raised their hands were Chika, Kyoto, Nosato, Shiemi, Hisako, and Haru, who was kind of timid about it. Yeah, she is obviously... There is something wrong with her. She's either a wolf or she is a guardian. And she's very unhappy about the guardian she has. Yasu Nagakun included. That was 6 people, a minority in the 15 here. Acting big when no one understands a thing, then babbling while making yourself look right. That's what wolves do. Everyone suddenly stared at Yasu with pointed glares. Hold on, are you saying Yasu's a wolf? He ain't wrong. You can't fake a monkey. He ain't a wolf. He's what he says he is. But don't go off without telling everyone how it is. The rest ain't as clever as you. Let me explain it again. Yasu then borrowed Mochi's help thoroughly to demonstrate how 2 groups of monkeys would work. They showed how easy it would be to find that Mochi, who was playing the part of the wolf, was a faker. So yeah, if you play the monkey, it won't last long, so it's better to just not. Liars get the rope. Ugh. I see, now I understand. Are there any of you who still don't get it? This time, no one raised their hands. Can we remove the old man and the little girl? I'm not sure they understand. No. Kanzo shot her suggestion down, and since no one came to support her, she quickly gave up. Her worries were very reasonable. The feast, however, wasn't. Even if some people didn't understand their own rules, the wolves had to die, or there would be no future for the humans. That was the Feast of the Omi Purge. They had guardians, their powers might be wasted. If they were wolves, they had to be killed. I was pretty sure that the people of Yasumizu, at least, were certain that that was how it would go. Everyone gets it. What now, Yasu? Other monkey, please name yourself. No one said anything, which meant that... Apparently, the other monkey doesn't understand anything. Could be her, or it could be the old man. That was a natural conclusion. However, no. Why aren't you saying anything, Kanzo? Kanzo's the monkey. Interesting. What? Oh man, you're a monkey. Really? What a relief. Good. The two people with you know, heads on their shoulders are, you know, guardians for once. Khan's human. How promising. They seemed genuinely relieved. You could tell by the sighs and whispers. It was true that he wasn't a wolf. If he was to continue to take charge of the feast while he was, he could have probably killed everybody more easily than Yasu. Why didn't you name yourself? However, not everything about this was perfect. Yasu had forced Kanzo to reveal his guardian against his will, which is probably his way of taking the lead. One of them knew how to use his guardian's power, the other didn't. Revealing that made Yasu seem more reliable. However, that is smart. That is smart if you were truly a monkey. If you ask me, I couldn't believe you until you pointed out to me yourself. Yes. It is a little weird that they did argue with each other on this, if they are both monkeys. But that means that there's something about the monkeys, like they know who each other are, but I think they have to, I don't know, there's something about the monkeys, like, how do I want to say this? It's like, yes, the monkeys know who they are, but I don't think they know exactly who they are. They just know when they're in the vicinity of the other monkey at first, until they figure it out. Because this whole thing just feels pointless if they know who they are. There's no point in arguing. If you ask me, I couldn't believe you until you pointed me out yourself. It's just absurd. Watch what you're doing. Yasu's first step went over the heads of most of those present, and Kanzo had used that against him. He had the makings of a leader, and by scolding Yasu for his hastiness, he made it clear that the chain of command was here. As a result, Kanzo's control of the situation was stronger than before. It also meant that Yasu's plan to help me was negated, leaving me in the same danger as before. I had to act now. Excuse me, can I finally talk? I went and asked Kanzo, talking out of turn here would just make me look like the bad guy. I don't want to die just yet. It's not like my life's precious to me, but I just think I can be more useful to you alive than dead. Yeah, maybe. Makishima, this morning you told me that guardians appear on the stomach. Does everyone else know this? I watched everyone's reactions. They just made a little bit of noise. Forgot to say it. It said that the guardian marks appear on the body. I think everyone from Yasumizu looked at themselves this morning. If you found a mark, you can't show it to anyone. We have to hide it? No, you can wash it off. I see, so outsiders like Hisako and Mako might not have known about this. Tell Mako about it. No need to worry. Okay then, what about you, Mamiya? I didn't look. First I've heard about this. So it's possible that Mamiya has a guardian, but just doesn't know it. By the way, can we pause the feast? Wait, leave until we decide who to hang. I see. So Mamiya will have to check if she has a guardian before tomorrow's feast, and should be left alive until then, right? And if I had a guardian, you couldn't hang me, but if I didn't, you could. That's why you asked me that question this morning, right? Saw your stomach? Huh? The guardian's show on the stomach. And since you apparently concluded that I didn't have a guardian, you decided to hang me, right? Surprisingly, Kanzo grinned. Got a good head and tongue, I see. Kanzo, you're being too cruel. It's fine, Jimmy. I understand my position and knew this was how it would go. As a human, I don't plan to lie to survive, but I want just one more day. I'll use it to think of ways to help the humans win and find useful information. I'll present it to you tomorrow. If it's no good, you can hang me then. I didn't mention that I had a guardian or whatever info I would present was based around the guardian powers or simple strategy. I was weasel-wording like mad. However, it was important to express some of the sort of self-sacrificial spirit in the situation. Haruaki. The effect was the same as when Chiemi did it. Not everyone here agreed that someone should die for the others, but this was a situation where everyone's lives were in danger, and here I was shown acceptance of my position. Everyone here could tell it wasn't something a wolf would do. The wolves were more likely to hide among the silent ones, not the ones who told the others to kill them. If everyone agrees with his words, the one we should hang besides anyone besides the monkeys, Kanzo and I, Fusaishi or Mamiya, no one objected. Do that then. I was in for a hell of a time on tomorrow's feast. However, the day I bought would have been enough to open the path for me. Where do we go for then? Why not just take out the village heads? Yoshi, shut up. Takumi, you don't like them either, do you? If you hang someone because you don't like them, you're the same as them, damn it. Yoshi complained a bit, but then fell silent. Probably understood this point. I have a suggestion. Get rid of this asshat. Say it, Nosato. This isn't getting us anywhere. We should choose someone by popular vote. Don't you agree, Makishima? What the hell? That's insane. I ain't choosing like that. It's not insane. Do you have any other way to get the consensus of so many people? We can talk it out and decide then. Takumi, I understand how you feel, but can we really kill by popular vote? What do you think? I agree with Nosato. You too? That works. Everyone's stunned that they accepted Kyono's proposal. Uematsu, got something to write on? I'm sure we do. Eventually, everyone agreed to it. They must have understood that this was how it had to go. There was a place for storage deeper inside the hall. It's probably where the sake and cup were kept. The inkstone case they kept there had fresh paper inside, and by Kanzo's command, Rikaku began writing down what she had to. Fusaishi. Yes? They prepared sake and writing tools. That means that someone knew this could happen, right? Yeah, the paper doesn't seem decades old either, and the water isn't rotten. Doesn't that mean this whole thing was set up by humans? This building is a shrine to Great Lord Shinai. 2 times a year, during the mountain festivals, the four-head families present various offerings. Divine sake, writing tools, ropes, sickles. I was told these items have been kept here for a long time. That means they weren't just for this time, but the head family still knew that they would be used, right? I know nothing of that. I've been married to the Higuchi family for almost a year, but I never heard of that. Oh, I never mentioned that, did I? So that's how it was. Well, I was in the same situation myself for a while, but I never heard anything about that. Who tell you of all people? No one would want to share their secrets with you. I don't want to hear that from you, Uncle. Sounds complicated. I also did not know that things here would be used. It might be something that only the Meguruma know. Or perhaps only a select few of the village heads. You lying bitch. You're the head of the Uematsu. Yoshi, she's writing. What, you want to go, old fart? Yoshi, cool off. You too, Takumi. Chicken shit. Old man, I can't say I don't understand him. Mamiya has a point. This means that the heads just acted nice and tributed the stuff knowing that this would happen to us. Uematsu, I'm sure you don't know anything. You could just say it. It'll all make sense then. I merely had a feeling that God would soon rise again. Sudden loud noises. They were caused by Chiemi and Haru. No way. But no, really, God is... Unless I get better information, I am totally writing her name down. I am sorry. She has completely lost it on day one. What? Haru. The sudden burst of happiness was too much for me to keep up with. Haru suddenly started laughing out loud. Kanzo's face paled right before he ran over to her. Everyone else just stared at them, dumbfounded. Haru, again? Weren't you cured? Haru, hang in there. Out of the way, Chikamochi. Crap. Misato, you know anything? See, didn't I already tell you before that mental illness can't be treated in a place like this? Don't touch my granddaughter. Menacing and pushing everyone away, Kanzo embraced Haru tight. Haru, calm down. I'm here. I had no idea what was happening. God was sort of like a keyword. No idea why, but last time had a profound effect on Chiemi. Worked on Haru too? What did you hear? It actually happened before. Was it different from the Okami and Shinai-sama? Okami, Wolf. Come to think of it, in addition to Wolf, Okami could also mean Great God. Was that significant? The first words the old man who cried wolf said all day. The wolf is coming. Not now, you old fart. Takumi, no violence. Oh my god. Thus I offer homage to Shinai the Almighty, so peace may come to pass. Thus I offer homage to Shinai the Almighty, so peace may come to pass. Man, things were getting out of hand. Still, Haru eventually calmed down, albeit still delirious, began talking normally. What? Did I collapse? Anemia? Keep it together. Oji. By the way, Chiemi, too, had long since recovered, and she was now acting like nothing had happened. Why were they so ready to accept the feast itself when they freaked out like normal people over their own family and fellow villagers acting so weird? Can understand being scared of monsters. And curses too, for that matter. But they also had the insanity to hang their own mothers and accept being hanged by the ones they loved. It was something straight out of hell. Just how many times would I have to see this kind of thing before I understood it all? What would you even be saying after that? I'm done writing. We'll get back at it in a moment. The climax is drawing near. Rikako had written a list of all people participating in the feast of the Omi Purge. The penmanship was nice, and the order was proper. Felt kind of like a petition or something. We'll start voting from the end. Uematsu, you record who's voting for who. Chiemi, Yasunaga, you check if she's doing it right. Alright. Okay. We will not vote for Mamiya and Fusaishi, correct? That's what I'll do, but you decide on your own. Sounds fair to me. We should think about what they said and decide whether we agree by ourselves. That's democracy. Uncle, you're kissing Haru's grandpappy's ass now. I'm simply saying what I think is true. Let's begin. Is this how you act when you're about to choose who to kill? The wolves must hang. This is wrong. It's a real crime. Hisako was very normal. I like that. However, I didn't think it'd help her survive for long. Who are you choosing, old fart? Yeah, like she might be the next one to die. I had no idea if you understood the situation, but it did point at someone. Specifically, me. Of course he would choose me. Huh? You wolf? Rikako, one vote for him. Yes. This really is wrong. Why does everyone vote have the same value? If you don't get it, then shut up. What is it that I don't get? Tell me. Mamiya, everyone must have the same voting power. I mean, if there was a way to remove it, the wolves could use it too. If you could use reasoning to remove someone's vote, that would be another thing for them to take advantage of. They'd probably work against you as well. After all, we probably have a number of people here who think that outsiders shouldn't vote. Chami grumbled while others gave disgruntled frowns. I know it's unfair to you, but in order to protect Yasumizu from all this, we can't avoid putting our lives on the line. You want to survive? Sure, but that's the attitude of a wolf. A human must not be against getting hanged unless you have a guardian anyway. I'll check right after this is over. I mean, I could vote for the old man. Like, technically, us two, we were supposed to be immune to this, but that's only preventing him. He said he's not going to vote for either of us. But yeah, honestly, I would say hang the old man this time, but we'll see. Good. Next. Although, honestly, if he was a monkey or a wolf, this would be a nightmare for the other teammates. Uematsu, I'm voting for you. Yeah. So that was his choice, huh? Do you have a reason for that? Not really. Huh? It's not that weird, is it? Kanzo thinks that everyone's suspicious, but also believes that we must sacrifice someone. We can't go for Fusayoshi or Mamiya. No, the ones easiest to hang here are Uematsu and you, Nosato. I would have gone for Nosato over Uematsu. You're all so... I understand. I accept the vote. Oh, man. Bachan, you're next. I don't really get it, but if Kai ain't voting for the outsiders, then I'll do the same. Alright? And Ka and Yasu aren't wolves, right? Safe to believe. Then I'll vote for Yoshi. She just wants to get rid of the punk, that's all. Huh? You damn hag? Why? So violent, don't listen to your mother. Your attitude must be the reason why the corruption came. That's your reason? I get it. So you're a wolf who just wants to kill everyone you don't like. I'm next. I'm voting for Maiko. Aw. Mira. She came to us at the most inconvenient time, and we don't know anything about her. It's too shady. But she's so little. I know, but what are we supposed to do if she's actually a wolf? Seemed like you had a point at first glance, but... Just so you know, I don't believe in monsters, but for all we know, it's possible we really will die if we don't follow the rules. Don't worry. If it comes to that, I'll hang her alone. That's all I'll say. Kaori, you're next. Yasunaga, can I refuse to vote? You should. This is the only way for humans to fight the wolves. People who don't vote can be considered silent supporters of the wolves. Then who will you vote for? Can I speak up before it's my turn? If you want. I plan to vote for Nosato. Yeah, that's right, get fucked. What? No one's shady yet. I agree with Kanzo on that. And since it's possible the village heads know something, you're entirely deserving of our suspicions, Nosato. Uematsu might be the same in that regard, but she moved to Yasumizu 3 years ago, while you only came here recently. That's enough reason to think you might know about this. That's all, really. Nothing personal. I see. So Yasumizu's hatred of Kawa Fujiyoshi goes bone deep. I might have to change my outlook a bit. Then I'll vote for him too. Hell yeah! I've thought as much. Well, I believe your family to a certain extent. I believe I understand your family to a certain extent. I mean, they did get banished here by the heads, so... There's a little bit of, you know, anger in that. But hanging me would be a waste of a day. Keep that in mind. My turn. I'm voting for the new arrival. Seriously? Okay, you're not kissing the old guy's ass anymore? No one's been kissing anything. I simply think he's trying to weasel his way into surviving without lying in the process. I'm not completely confident, but as things are, the most suspicious person here is the one who had the least reason for wanting to survive. Everyone wants to survive, damn it. Requesting anything better from a person who has been here for only a day seems a bit cruel. Say whatever you want, that's it for me. Fortunately for me, he did have a point. I already said my vote. Mochi, you're next. One for Uncle. Hell yeah! Mochi, my man! Yes! Mochi, you too? I mean, it's looking to be a vote-off between you and Richan. Richan's a girl, so I figure I'll let you take it. Mochi, I have nothing against protecting Rikako, but that's an entirely different matter. Anyway, it's time for the one most likely to vote for Uncle, Yoshi. One for Uematsu. Oh my god. Huh? I just think she's shadier than the scrawny dumbass. Well, I wanted to vote for a certain hag here, but I guess it's more important to actually kill someone. You do the same, Chini. I'm voting for you, Yoshi. What? What? Of all people? No! Go after Sato, damn it! Huh? Wait, why? Huh? Yoshi, if you really are a wolf, you should stop picking fights with people. There's no guarantee that the wolves are all Kami Fujiyoshi's people, or the elders, you know? There's no proof you aren't a wolf either. I'm almost completely against everything Nosato's saying, but I agree with that much. I hope it's not you, but maybe my vote will encourage you to knock it off. Is this for real? Yoshi, please, calm down. Everyone, please, I beg you. Don't worry, Yoshi won't die that easy. You're next, Haru. That guy over there. She pointed at me. That's what? Yeah, that's 3 votes to me. Well, I can't blame you for not trusting me. Haruaki. You're next, Rikako. I'm voting for myself? What? Is that loud, old man? Nothing against that, right, Ty? Never heard of this happening, but it ain't forbidden. Rikako, I know what I said, but you don't have to force yourself like that. No, your spirit of self-sacrifice moved me. It made me realize that perhaps my role here is to take the hatred of everyone present. If you do not know who to vote for, please vote for me. Just please, spare this little girl. What was I supposed to do with this? Mako, pick someone to hang. Him. You goddamn brat. Don't bully Oni-chan. Araki, you're next. Oh boy. Kiyono, Yoshi, Rikako, and I all had 3 votes each, while Mako had just 1. What if several people get the same amount of votes? Then the rest of us will vote to hang one from just them. Well, well. The suspects who go up to the next round would lose their right to vote, huh? That was something. But if that was how it worked, then what if there was a complete split on the second vote? That's what everyone wants. We won't hang anyone. Well, that was interesting. They'd go for a final vote by eliminating their suspects to give them the voting right only to the rest. And if there were several in the limited group who received majority votes, too, they could vote again, but there was a completely perfect split among them all. They couldn't cut the numbers down again, nor return back to square one, making it impossible to continue the voting. Actually quite a delicate situation. The ones in the lead were Kiyono, Yoshi, Rikako, and me, with Mako behind us with just 1 vote. Normally thinking I could vote for one of the other 3 to make sure I survived. Then, even if Mamiya picked me, I wouldn't die right away. There would only be a final vote, which was dangerous in its own right. However, I didn't feel like voting for Yoshi. His votes were mostly just a punishment for being a brat, so actually killing him would shock everyone present. There's also Kaori, who would most likely make a mess of the whole feast again later on. I wanted to avoid that. Then was I to vote for Kiyono or Rikako? The former seemed to be the better choice. He'd vote for me, and he'd probably prefer to die rather than see Rikako hanged. However, he really didn't feel like a wolf to me. Could I really kill him off just because village heads like him were so resented here? What will you do, Mamiya? Why are you asking? Honestly, I feel like the very act of voting is risky right now, so I want your opinion. I will prevent a murder, if possible, anyway. Did she also see it? Did she notice the unlikely but possible way of preventing everyone's lynching? That helps the wolves, you know? Like I care. This is Japan. We have laws. If you're going to prove a crime just like that, I'm going to stop you like the good person I am. Her words were just too reasonable. Honestly, I feel like a number of you are voting to make a certain something happen. I mean, you wouldn't normally get votes spread out so evenly. Would a death in a situation like that be a vote by consensus? Yeah, I didn't think I'd get a response. I had to think this through. In most situations, hanging someone was the way to make progress. However, I still had another option, the snake's power. If I didn't use it at least once, there'd be no point in me having it. First and foremost, I had to make it through the day. However, there was a situation without any clear enemies. If we picked someone arbitrarily, wouldn't it be bad for us in the long run? Couldn't help questioning that course of action. Well, there's no point in lying to myself. Honestly, I just really wanted to exploit the loophole in the rules. If you are hesitant, vote for me, not Maiko. Rikako went and emphasized that. She really didn't have to worry, though. Maiko wouldn't die no matter what happened. Even if the remaining 2 votes went to her, she'd just become another option in the final vote. And the candidates would either be me or one of the village heads. Rikako would become a good dumping ground for votes, after all. She voted for herself and suggested that the others do the same. She was by far the closest one to death. What she did was pretty much suicide. Did she have suicidal tendencies or something? She did seem a bit dim in certain ways, but not completely simple and idiotic. Damn. Brutal. Huh? If you are hesitant, vote for me, not Maiko. Why the emphasis and why then? Oh. Yeah, I guess I couldn't kill Rikako or Maiko after all. That left me with only one answer. I vote for Maiko. Vote for Maiko. Mamiya voted for her too, meaning that we have 5 people with 3 votes on them. We would then start a final vote centered around them. There are 15 people here. According to the rules, Kanzo described the 5 candidates would lose their votes, so only 10 would get to vote. That made for a very special situation. It was the key to create a very unlikely situation where no one died. By the time my turn came, there were 4 people with 3 votes. Oh my god. Alright. If Amiya gave the votes off to someone else, the final vote would only have 4 options on 11 voters. There was no way to divide them all equally. Someone would have more votes, and we'd certainly have a hang-in on our hands. It'd be fine if the split turned out to be something like 2-3-3-3, resulting in a final vote, assuming the one who got 2 got his vote back. But if something like 1-3-4-4, those who got 4 would have voted on again. You'd either have 13 or 11 voters, an odd number regardless. However, there are 5 suspects and 10 votes now. If the votes were split evenly at 2-2-2-2, the voting would be cancelled and no one would be lynched today. Mamiya had realized this too. That is why she hadn't hesitated to vote for Maiko. That left us with another problem, though. After all, the sacrifice was as good as decided. Can we just vote for the same person? Crap, Kanzo was going for it. Wait. Let people vote again. Chami realized it and acted on it. Of course, otherwise, Rikako, please show me the result. Yes, certainly. Exactly, he realized it too, and looking at the results just confirmed it. Vote or previous vote. Old Wolf, Haruaki. Kanzo, Rikako. Tai, Yoshi. Takumi, Maiko. Kaori, Kiyono. Yasunaga, Kiyono. Chika, Kiano. Like 3 in a row, man. Haru, Haruaki. Hisako, Maiko. Exactly as things were, I, Yoshi, and Maiko would have 2 votes. Rikako would have 1, and Kiyono would come up to the top of 3 votes. Of course, there wouldn't be any problems if the results changed, but got a reason for that? Of course I do. What's the point of final vote if we don't actually vote again? Gee, did you vote to make the numbers the same right from the start? Chami fell silent. She had no rebuttal. The purpose of the final vote was to cut off the minority, those who had the votes, and let the majority votes do the talking. That's why it was impossible to select anyone when the votes were split perfectly with no minorities or majorities. However, here in Yasumizu, where the suspect lost the right to vote, things were a bit different. By simply removing the right to vote, you already had a difference of votes, so it wasn't necessary to vote again, as the minority that should have done that didn't exist. The 10 who could still vote could vote for the same people, so why wouldn't they? Can't you people vote for the human's sake? Those words rang powerfully in the ears of the Yasumizo inhabitants. People had to put their lives on the line for the human's sake. This isolated society considered that the right thing to do, and voting again was a sin. Who would insist on committing that sin? Especially among the 3 who voted for Kiona. Which of them would change their minds to vote for Rikako? There are actually only 2 ways left. Would Mochi change his mind or not? Well, yeah, honestly, this doesn't seem like it happens often. It's kind of interesting. Alright, I'm switching to Richan. Chika! Old man, stop. Kanzo stood up and clenched his fist, but Takumi went after him just in time to stop him. It's just how Chika Mochi is, you know that. If he ends up helping the wolves because of it, he's a traitor. I know that, I know. But you're feeling it too, right? Come on. Everyone here was gloomy and tired. They wanted this to end and leave as soon as possible. Sorry, it's just that none of us are as prepared for this as you are. I am. But Kachan? There's no helping it. It's a lot of hang according to the group consensus. I know. Don't come crying to me if you regret it. Feeling slightly guilty, everyone silently listened to Kanzo's words of condemnation. First day's feast had ended, and it actually contributed to the group not killing anyone, something I was completely against last time. Kanzo left the hall in a deafening silence. After he was gone, everyone else slowly stood up and left. They all wore varied expressions of relief. Kusaishi, want to talk to you later. Alright? Hearing that as I left, I was actually kind of scared. Hey, Haruaki? Oh? Haruaki, can I have a moment later? Jeez, everybody wants to talk to me. Whoa. Don't act like hot shit just because you have a pretty face, you lunatic. So what was this about? Hey, talk to me too, Pissman. Before it sticks, just let me ask you to stop with that name. Wanna talk to me? You're just gonna try to prank me again. What's going on here? Hey, careful with the secret meetings. The one to interrupt the weird event was Takumi. I know the mist is about, but Yasumi's is small. You'd be heard even if you whisper. And it'll be barely half a day before everyone knows that you talked about. Shouldn't share anything too important. Thanks for the warning. That was true. If someone did share a secret with another person, there was no guarantee it'd be kept. Plus, keeping secrets which sow distrust and meetings with the opposite gender could spark jealousy. Didn't want anyone to spend the next feast talking about how I was a wolf having secret meetings or something. Better discuss things out in the open where there would be witnesses. Fusaishi, you must prepare lunch. You good with a knife? Somewhat. And so, it was time for food. We didn't have much besides the ingredients we had this morning, but there was some curry roux in the store, so we started with that. However, it was just a one family-sized box. It wasn't quite enough for 15 people. We ended up filling the thin curry sauce with soup stock, salt, soy sauce. The resulting flavor was pretty potent. The curry we ended up with was more of a soup, but the diner seemed to like it. Apparently, curry like this wasn't unusual here, but it was only brought out for special occasions. Alright, you have a good one, Sebas. I'll probably go for another hour, as reading all this really does soar in the throat. It's actually Yasumi's local curry. Kind of made me sad, but it wasn't enough to stop from eating what should have probably been called curry rice gruel or something. Then I washed the dishes and checked on everyone. Since Takumi suggested we stay close together, we spent our time in the slightly cramped dining hall. Kanzo left, though, saying something about looking around. Stay here. Call out when you step out or I'll shoot you dead. Threat like that made everyone pretty reluctant to leave. He had the right idea, though. Splitting up before had rapidly thinned the number of humans. That was fine and all, but the threat seemed a bit much. It felt like Kanzo was tripping on his own death flag. The ones left in the dining hall were chatting, the students being the most talkative. They talked about their studies while Chiemi spoke of her time in college. Apparently, Chiemi was majoring in linguistic anthropology. When asked what that involved, she answered, reading books and writing reports. so it didn't seem like their seminars were particularly formal. No one discussed the feast, though. That was related to what Takumi-san had said, which seemed like an unwritten rule here. Whatever the case, everyone was way more cheerful than they were this morning. Mochi occasionally spoke to the old wolf guy who was sitting in the corner of the room, while Kiyono did the same with Rikako. Mamiya seemed slightly uncomfortable, though. I'd have to talk to her later. There's some segregation. I felt a little cramped, but it did seem peaceful. It was objectively an awful situation, though. No matter how everyone here felt, one of us would definitely be targeted tonight. The current atmosphere was probably better than doom and gloom, but it was bad that no one was interested in reviewing and analyzing today's feast. Who would be the target today? After today's feast, I could see several people that were a threat to the wolves. The ones in the lead were Kanzo and Yasu. The two monkeys and extremely charismatic to boot. They had both insisted on hanging someone for reasons other than personal grudges. That was all great. However, Kanzo's assertiveness made him stand out, while, as Kanzo aptly pointed out, Yasu had a habit of getting ahead of himself. It wasn't good that there was some sort of rivalry between them. Kanzo normally commanded a lot of respect, but the young ones like Yoshi and Mochi had a tendency to rebel. The humans' ultimate goal was to wipe out all the wolves, but since their lives were on the line, they could easily switch priority to taking the lead. They had different ways of approaching the situation. You get a confrontation between the generations, with the elders against the youth. That wastes some time and effort. If that happens, humans will once again lose all hope of winning. Yasu had eventually fallen silent today, but I hope he recovered by tomorrow and properly cooperate with Kanzo. And I hope they would do it in a way that ensured my survival. What do the wolves think of these two? They both had to be eliminated or led into destroying one another. Both seemed plausible. By going for someone else, though, they had a chance of taking out a different Guardian receiver. And which of those seemed more advantageous to them? I also had to keep Takumi and Kiyono in mind. Takumi was right between the elders and the youth. I had no idea what he was planning to do next, but he had the power to swing a lot of votes. Kiyono was pretty powerless in that regard, but since he wanted to protect Rikako, he could get Tai's cooperation. Rikako and Maiko had to be protected. That was something I decided. It'd be pretty bad if I was making a mistake there, though. I also found out Mochi was a real joker. He'd probably vote for whatever seemed funny or interesting. Things had gone my way thanks to his whimsicality this time, but I felt like this wouldn't be the last time he pulled a stunt like that. As I thought to myself, I finished washing the dishes. Thank you, let's have some tea. Oh, I'd love some. Passed the counter and walked up to the table. Hello, good work in there. You already seem pretty used to your job. I had to do this much while I still lived with my parents. What a guy, hear that? Y'all have it good here, study hard. I know. I know, that's why I break all the plates Fitzman fixed. Plates aside, stop calling me that. And what should I call you? Hassan, maybe? Sound good. You can call me Mochi then. Yo, Mochi. Hi, Hassan. By the way, Fusaishi, you got nothing to say about the guy's clothes? Oh, I forgot. Looks kinda good on him. And it's not uncommon these days. Cute, ain't it? Seriously? You got lots of these in Tokyo? Not a lot, but yeah, they're around. I don't get it all. Oh, Mochi's special though, so I don't think anything of it. I'm a natural wonder. Natural disaster, maybe. Now, Fusaishi, may I have a moment? Tension in the air grew palpable. You forgot what I said? No, I didn't. But you can't expect anything shady from me, can you? I'm a monkey. Well, that's true. Just don't overdo it. Alright, let's head upstairs. Was hoping to get choices of who to meet up with. Oh well. Are you sure we should be meeting secretly like this? Yes. We revealed that we would talk, and even, I think, sometimes talk with everyone. To make it fair, huh? Would that really work? First of all, do you believe me? I don't have a reason not to. Fusai, do you have a guardian? Can't say. Why? Your behavior around me would change. Might tip someone off. Not telling anyone until I survive the night. Alright. Who do you think is suspicious? I don't know. Who do you think isn't? Chimmy, Rikako, and Mako. Why do you think that? Don't you have your own suspicions? See where you're coming from, but if you ask me, you're playing suspicious yourself. Fair point. Chimmy volunteered to die, risking that is way too dangerous for a wolf. But she didn't get a single vote. We weren't even talking about votes at that point. We were just discussing volunteers to be hanged. Chimmy was actually the first to volunteer. Unlike you and Haru, she didn't have any family to try and protect her at all costs. Seemed like too reckless of a move for a wolf. I can say one thing. Yes? I share your opinion. We laughed a little. Not sure I understand the other two, though. Especially Rikako. It's possible she tried to gain our trust by copying Chiene. She might be hiding something. True, that seems reasonable. Well, on the other hand, it could have been her way of competing with Chiene. Excuse me? Before the mist came, Uematsu and Chiene were fighting over you, right? Heh, that's right. How did he know? I hadn't sensed anyone around. I didn't have much homework yesterday, so take care of it quickly and head to the dining hall with Mochi and Haru when we saw you. I see, so nothing's a secret here, huh? Please calm down. Had I said anything else I didn't want anyone to hear, I was kind of worried now. That aside, can I hear what makes you so certain? Oh, it's just a hunch. A hunch? Yeah. I considered telling him the real reason, but I decided it was definitely impossible to do so at the moment. No one's listening. Seriously, it's just a hunch. Also, it's not exactly accurate. You're listening. Well, that's true. That's probably the right way to approach this. Honestly, even mentioning Mako in this conversation felt like a mistake. I can only hope that I didn't look too deep into it. Should I still be trusty if Mako-chan dies tonight? A leading question. I'd have to choose my words carefully. I don't know why you think that. If I was a wolf, I'd just be giving you all this information would be suicide. That's true. Alright, then I'll suspect you if anyone else dies. Harsh. Thought you'd trust me by now. I actually trust you more than anyone else now. Though, keep in mind that I can't really trust anyone until the feast is over. Not even your friends and family? I'd love to say I trust them. But looking at what happened to the Makishima family, can't let myself be so naive. So he had his doubts about the official story too. Also, ignoring whether it was done by a human or not, somebody's already died. Someone else dies tonight, and the culprit doesn't present themselves, we can assume they accepted the role as a wolf and began killing and deceiving humans. It's probably not what standard law would say, but this is a dangerous situation where doing such things comes with certain punishments. I see, so you've already justified it, huh? Justified? I guess you could say that. I couldn't handle any of this if I wasn't convincing myself that it was right. Some wanted to survive even if it meant bending what was right, while the others didn't want to discard what was right even if it meant death. Which one of them was more human? Are you planning on being a lawyer or something? Well, I did consider it, but that won't happen now. Why are you so certain? If I survived, it'd be because I hanged the wolves. Yes, Tsunaga was smart, but at the same time, he was a sort of perfectionist who wouldn't sell for knowing only part of the truth. He's kind of worried. He could get lost in his own theories, making him unreceptive to other ideas. See your point. That's it for me. This whole situation is difficult even for us locals. Can't even imagine how bad it is for you. Well, at least... Sorry. I don't have much to lose here. Mamiya-san, on the other hand, I don't want there to be any unnecessary casualties. I hope she comes to understand that, among other things. I'll be careful when dealing with her. You should be careful about you don't butt heads with Kanzo so much. That's true. Though this did help me earn some of Yasunaga's trust, I resolved not to have any more secret meetings. At least for today. Turn to the dining hall and chat a bit. I got a chance to bring up what I want to talk about. Mamiya scribbled something on a notepad, threw her pen down exhaustedly. Taking notes about what's happening here? She jumped a bit and quickly stuffed a notepad back in her bag. Well, yes. I have to go to the police once I get out of here. I want to be able to provide a proper testimony. It was the right idea. The previous me never made it that far, though. If you're free right now, there's something I want to ask you. What is it? You're an ex-occult writer, right? Why don't you take out the local legends? I stopped that when I was still just an amateur, though. But I do think it's just not very Japanese. Can I continue? None of you will be upset? You seem to be attracting a lot of attention. Who knows? I'm kind of interested. I don't give a damn. I don't have anything better to do. How about you, Richan? This is your thing, right? No. Work concerning the divine is Miguruma's responsibility, but I would be lying if I said I was not interested. We rarely have an outsider seek to discuss our faith. If Uematsu-sama says that, then I got nothing against it. No one else weighed in, so Mamiya began to speak. In polytheistic religions, gods die very often, but you'd be surprised how rare it is for humans to be the culprits. Especially here in Japan. I can't think of anything in the Shinto mythos. All the gods that are killed die at the hands of either gods or godlike heroes. This probably had something to do with suspension of disbelief. Someone capable of slaying a god would surely be divine themselves. In the local story, wolves and snakes are the mountain gods' guardian servants. They're basically gods, like Inari foxes, the kitsune. They're a Japanese faith that venerates such servants. Snakes, monkeys, birds, even wolves have shrines dedicated to them. They do? Yes, Chiba is a popular wolf shrine. Ever heard of the Mitsumi Shrine? They have wolf statues in place of the traditional lion dogs. Well, that was something to keep in mind. In the Kumano faith, they worship the three-legged crow, while the great Hiei Shrine reveres a monkey. Oh, what about snakes? Oh, Miwa Shrine is famous enough. They worship a giant snake called Omononoshi. Strangely enough, the name written as Okami, great god, but read as Omiwa. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, I know the other servants cooperate with them, but the legend here describes nameless humans slaying a god. That's highly irregular. Sako paused for a moment. By the way, doesn't the story of the feast remind you of something? The part about getting the Okami drunk and then killing them? That's how Susano defeated Orochi, right? I know that one. He cross-dresses the woman who was supposed to be sacrificed, gave Yamato no Orochi lots of sake, and killed him. Yes, I think the local story has roots in other famous stories including that, just like the myths and folktales. The original story is probably Orochi's slaying, but I can't imagine how it became about a wolf or when the existence of a hero disappeared to. In Japan, it's rare to see stories about killing wolves, too. It's more of a Western thing. They have their livestock to protect. Was it perhaps a recent development that borrowed elements from Western storybooks? Like Little Red Riding Hood, for example? The wolf is coming. That too. That's one of Aesop's fables. Oh? I think I heard something about that in a culture lecture. If local and foreign stories mix, the result often becomes folklore in just a few years. Exactly. Word of mouth is really unreliable after all. Give it 1 or 2 generations and something becomes a story from a long, long time ago. Bachan, how long was Kami Fujiyoshi's Shinaya Shrine been around for? I heard it predates the Age of the Samurai. Maybe the time it was passed on was different. If not, then maybe it refers to a local event that happened a long time ago. Like, they might have banded together and chased away a tyrannical lord or killed a particularly large wild dog. That seemed likely. There's one thing that's certain, though. Yomotsu Okami, was it? Yes. Wolves that return from Yomi. The term is definitely based on Japanese myth. I was curious about that too. What exactly? Yomotsu Okami is another name for Izanami, the goddess who birthed this country, Izanagi's sister as well as his wife. Okay, we're back to Izanagi and Izanami. I just can't get away from them. Whoa, didn't expect such a major legend to come up. Even I knew Izanagi and Izanami. Huh? They're siblings who married each other? Pretty common in myths, especially among gods. I see. What's wrong with you? Anyway, Izanami lost her life after birthing many gods, and after a lot of trouble ended up becoming the goddess in control of the Nenokuni. Nenokuni? Another name for Yomi, the underworld. Yet another name for it is Nenokatsukuni. Katatsu, sorry. Katatsu. Some say it's somewhere beyond the sea, while others think that Nenokuni is just a place within Yomi. That's where she's known as Yumatsu Okami. Well, resurrection is written as returning from Yomi, so the words probably shared an etymological root. Both Okami and Yomi just happen to match, so it's probably still lives as a way to refer to her. Oh, I see. Seems likely, in fact, the very use of the word Yomi makes it clear it incorporates ancient Japanese myths. It's true. She's not bad about her stories or anything. Oh yes, he's right. It's a unique story, and I think it's very valuable. It's not about being unique or valuable. I believe in Shinaya-sama and live accordingly. That's what I was taught and how I lived my whole life. I'm not sure how I feel about an outsider's view. Okay, let's leave it at that. Yeah, now for something more important. Something with me again? You too. It's something I want to ask everyone here. It's about the song that Meiko and Rikako sung. Oh? Prayer to Shinai? Probably. That song's main theme is the Feast of the Yomi Purge, right? My word made everyone freeze. Wait a second. Just wanna put up some compressed air. I'm about to scare the hell out of a fly that's buzzing around me. Shinaya-san's guardians are, but not for long. Yeah, that. Do you know any more? Does not want to stay. 1 cake, 2 funky, 3 below, 4 rider. It's probably wrong in the worst of ways. Below rider? She just had to pick up on that, huh? It's not quite right, I'd say. What do you mean? That song taught us to prepare for the mist and exterminate the Yomibito, right? Damn. Land, damn you! The same goes for the Feast of the Yomi Purge, but there's nothing on the song about the ancient killing of the wolves of the Yomotsu Okami. Yeah, that was the one of the things I found curious. I think it's some old barbaric tradition that's long gone, nothing more. I think I missed, unfortunately. Trying to freeze it. Compressed air, shock it, but it's not working. Oh well. Just hovering around things I don't want to break. I see, that's more than enough if you ask me. Even if it doesn't fit the situation perfectly, it's still pretty close. I don't know about the whole wolf or Yomibito thing, but it's true that Fujiyoshi's being invaded by Yomi and we're fighting it. Well, that starts to think a bit, but yes. Stupid, right, Jimmy? Well, maybe. Takumi, did you just call it stupid? We're being punished because we harbor too much corruption. Sorry, Ba. But the kids here are trying their best, too. Anyway, what do you want to ask, Fusaishi? Rikako, can you write down the lyrics for me? It's not something we should show to outsiders. Then we promise not to bring it outside. Think of it as just providing Fusaishi with information. Can we? Yes, he probably has an idea. Need something to write with? Yes, thank you. And so, I now had all the lyrics of Prayer to Shinai. Shinaya-san's guardians are 1 snake, 2 monkey, 3 crow, 4 spider. 5. Prepare for the feast when the evening mists arrive. 6. The badger runs along late while with the narrow's effects. 7. The corrupt Yomabito rise to oppose the mountain. 8. The death of the damned Yomabito is the mandate. 9. One soul per day now to bind. 10. The mist rise away again. From the top. First phrase was an introduction of the characters. Shinai-san was the god of the mountain, Great Lord Shinai, while the rest were his servants, excluding the wolves. There were numbers next to them, but it didn't mean the amount, it was just a numerical order. That meant Shinai's first follower was the snake, the second was the monkey, the third was the crow, and the last one was the spider. The thing about the evening mist and the preparation of the feast was obviously referring to the time when the Feast of the Yomi Purge had to be done. What confused me was, what's the badger? The badger from the Tanuki badger incident, surely. What's that? You want to study law and you don't know? There's a major controversy in hunting law where hunters who hunted badgers were accused of hunting Tanuki when it was forbidden. In short, the badgers turned out to be Tanuki, but it was controversial because of that area. They're considered to be a different animal. How is that related? Though I'm reminded of Oji saying that anything with 4 legs, 4 dog legs, is a badger. To be specific, they're Melis anakuma, the Japanese badger. It wouldn't have been strange for hunters to use a single word for foxes, tanukis, and other similar things. Oh, the fly's getting back at me. Just this one fly. Just won't leave me alone. So badgers are kind of dog-like, huh? What's snare, though? As in Shishinari? Shishi's an old way to say meat, as well as a way to refer to all huntable game in Japan. Yeah, according to Kanzo, boar, deer, it's all shishi. I knew that already, but it was good to refresh my memory. Is that meal special? A good Shishinari is a luxury. Did the one I'd eaten count as good? So that part means that the badger would eventually come running and bring Shishinari? It's not good enough. Yes. And incidentally, you probably noticed, but this also meant to help teach children to count. That's why each verse begins with a number. Also, Japanese word for mist, kiri, can also be an end, which symbolizes 10 as well. I heard that kiri symbolizing 10 comes from the Christian cross, which is shaped like the character for 10, and Christian being pronounced as Kirisuto. So in other words, it was established after the spread of Christianity to Japan. That aside, Fusaishi, what are you curious about? I just thought that there's no badger, right? In Fujiyoshi, or the Feast of the Yomi Purge, I mean. I thought I'd get an instant response, but instead I was met with silence. Huh? I'm not wrong, am I? The guardian beasts of the 4 families were mentioned, but the badger alone is nothing? For a moment I thought it was the wolves, but that didn't really seem likely. Is it something I shouldn't ask about? Rikako, do you know anything? No. Kyo, guy is asking. I'm no specialist. Huh? No one knew. I think I heard something about that. Of course you did. The badger was a servant of Okami. You mean Yasumi's old stories? Yes, but he doesn't get mentioned much. The lord of the hunting ground was the Okami, and the badger served the Okami on hunts, or so I've heard. Is it just one? One? What do you mean? I heard there are actually 3 Okami. Oh yes, there are 3 wolf statues in Shinai-san's shrine in Count Fujiyoshi. Besides the monkeys, of which there are 2, there's only one of each guardian. That reminds me. I also just remembered, there was one statue like that, wasn't there? What, you mean a badger statue? I remember seeing it too. When I first went to the shrine, there was something dog-like with the others. At first, I just thought it was an Okami that wasn't standing upright. So the badger wasn't a werewolf. Yes, before dying, Jen said something about it too. The badger's waiting for the Okami-sama to return. It made me feel uneasy. I saw how it was. Did you realize something? It's just an assumption, but I think a badger's a guardian too. By that I mean there's a badger role in the Feast of the Yomi Purge. That shocked everyone. What do you mean? That we might have a human who sides with the wolves. A third imposter! That's what that's what the other Haru was. I don't know if this situation is supernatural or just a case of mass hysteria caused by everyone's fear of the legends. But either way, there could be someone who realized that someone close to them was a wolf and switched sides. It's always going to be the death of me. Or someone who gained the same motive that's driving the wolves to kill people. Whatever the cause, I'm thinking there could be a human who sides with the wolves. Does that sound possible to you all? What the hell? You're just guessing, right? I am, but I do think it's likely. There's also the fact that the old man who died mentioned the badger, too. Couldn't he have known about it because he had experienced the feast before? Now you're taking it too far. Yeah, I'd say you're overthinking it. There was a badger. I'd seen it with my own eyes. Shit. It sucked not being able to make a more convincing argument. Yes, it is a guess. However, I do think we should take such potential threats seriously. Takumi, you said you don't believe in monsters, right? What about it? Despite that, the mists came and you all began the feast. That means there must have been feasts during the other mists, and people died in all of them. I'd say these two things are certainly true. His silence felt like a gesture of agreement. Then you agree that there was something causing people to become murderers and turn to their friends, right? Wait, don't say we had any scumbags here. The killings could be done by some Kevin Fujiyoshi guys. As naive as always, I had to restrain myself from saying that out loud. I didn't want to get on everyone's bad side. Well, suppose that there was. If they use that, they could cause a human to team up with the wolves, right? And this person might not be among us. Yet. The badger runs along late with an air as a fix. Maybe that means the badger arrives late to the feast, along with a present to apologize. I'd be intrigued by your idea if we weren't in the middle of life or death situation. I don't like how you're making everyone more paranoid than they need to be. Wait, but then... Hope he's just overthinking things. Sadly, I wasn't. I already knew the answer. Last time, Haru was the badger. After the first night, one day after the wolves came, something happened to her that caused her to switch sides. It frightened her at first, but afterwards she decided to make herself useful to the wolves. Gen-san, the one who owned my hut before me, had pretty much confirmed it before he died, meaning he experienced the feast 8 years ago. It's possible that Kanzo and the old wolf were in on it as well. Since the survivor knew about the badger, probably meant that the wolves had won 8 years ago. Kanzo survived too, though. Was he a wolf then? If the real story behind the feast made people do that, made people into that, couldn't that have happened to Kanzo-san? Wolves and the badger. I knew it was a thing, but I didn't quite understand how it worked. It was probably something I could only find out if I become a badger or a wolf. That meant it was pointless to think about it now. The thing I had to do now was... Damn. Key number 20. Key number 20 is very important. Keep passing time. We hung out until evening when Kanzo-san came back, making the same sullen face as always, and we all had an early massive dinner. Tables had boiled chimichurri on them. The smell was way more tolerable than the first time I ate it, so this one probably hadn't aged as much, or you just got used to it. Kind of used to it by now, so I could eat it like I would normal meat, though I probably wouldn't have insisted on having it if I had a choice. However, since it was there, I could only assume that even this event counted as some sort of special occasion worthy of special food. The Aztecs used to treat their human sacrifices with respect for a whole year before their sacrifice. Mamiya whispered that to me alone. I wasn't sure what to make of that. It seemed like she was implying at least they won't make us wait that long. What a bad joke. Alright, after the meal, everyone began to leave. Kiori and I stayed to do the dishes. Thank you so much for your help. Washing the dishes all alone at a time like this might have made me go insane. Can't blame you. I had to be very careful with my words. I actually knew what she was like when she went insane. I need to survive until tomorrow so I can wash the dishes again. Oh, please don't take it too seriously. Please take over my duties at the dining hall if the wolves take me. Oh, that's too much for me. You still need it here. Sorry I said that. It's fine. It's about time we stop looking away from reality and prepare ourselves. Someone will probably be gone tomorrow. She was unexpectedly calm about this. Yasunaga. He's such a gentle child. And just like his father, he has a good head on his shoulders. Whenever it's hard, he gives me a gentle smile to console me and always find the best solution. But right now, his face is conflicted. You caught on, huh? Well, I am his mother. Yasunaga has sort of a complex about his relationship with his mother. He believed that Kiori loved Yoshi more than him. I didn't know if that was true, but at the very least, Kiori did treasure him dearly as her son. Right as I thought that. Yoshi, what's wrong? Forgot something? Why do you gotta be the only one to wash the dishes? Because you didn't help. It ain't just me. The hell is Aniki thinking? Why is he leaving the dining hall at a time like this? Good to have your own jobs. We all have something to do. The same should go for you. You mean study? That or dry the dishes. Think about what you could do for yourself. Give me something to dry with. You really are a good kid. Sadly, your kindness is going nowhere. We just finished. What was the point of that then? Shit! Well, I do appreciate your attitude. It's laudable. Now go prepare for the feast and come help tomorrow. I'm going to. Yes. Good night. Hold on, lunatic. Just after I left the dining hall, he caught up with me through the mist. You should remember my name by now, too. Shut up, piss man! No! An ambush! Damn middle schoolers! Yep, joking around, lunatic. Well, that's better than piss man, at least. So if the joke was the main deal, what was? Let's go kill the wolves. Let's go kill the fucking wolves. What? What do you mean? I'm telling all this to eat shit. Fuck the feast. Fuck Shanai. I had enough. Everyone's too chicken shit. Anything can die if you have a big enough stick. Not a hint of fear in his voice. However, nor was any killing intent or violence. However, he also wasn't messing around. He was defiant and reckless in his given human form. What? You going chicken out too? You just pretend to be a lunatic, is that it? I now understood it all. He walked around at night last loop too, and that got him killed by the corruption. Had Yoshi met up with anyone before he'd gone off like Yasunaga and the others? I doubted that Yasu was the one who made him into that mutilated corpse. So it had to be that thing. Or maybe that thing. Crap. After I found out the feast had normal murders last time, I let my guard down a bit. There's still things that couldn't be explained. They were still mysterious, unknown, and scary. However, would I learn anything if I actually went with them? If I could loop back, all I would have to show for it would be a memory of me getting torn apart in the mist before I even realized it. However, if I refused, he would go off on his own and die, making Kiori lose it and snap. How was I to prevent that? Say something, damn it! I had to hold myself for saying something. This wasn't the time for dad jokes. Go by yourself. Heh, I knew it. You are a chicken. Yeah, fine by me. I mean, you'll be out of the way. Huh? What a fine listener. Then I can make a move on Kiori. She probably gave birth at a young age, so she's still pretty youthful. Hey! Well, I'm as good as dead, though, so I can enjoy her until it's my time. Rush to your death. I won't stop you. Leave your mom to me. That's a fucked up way of convincing him, man. I don't think I approve of this line. Jeez. I love her real good, and... Whoa! They expect him to charge at me head first. Well, fuck! What do you think you're aiming for? Crap, that worked too well. About to be killed by a generic delinquent middle schooler. Die, you fucking... His words were hurting me, but I could still dodge. Sorry, I was lying, seriously. Lying my ass! What kind of language was that? Kind of wanted to learn it. Dodged it again, it ran off in the dark mist. Shit, where are you? Fighting wasn't easy in this mist, huh? For the first time I was actually thankful for it. Where the hell are you? Yoshi, don't act so big you lose sight of what's important. Mess up today, you will surely die. Fine by me, shitface. We'll protect Kaori then. Don't give a fuck. Leave it to Takumi and Aniki. They won't do. They don't think about Yasumizo as a whole. Want to protect your mother? Stop throwing yourself into danger or focus on surviving. Huh? I ain't guaranteed I'd die. I could win. I knew how he felt. I thought the same thing once. Not anymore. I knew it was impossible. That ain't gonna cut it. What are you getting at? What do you know? I already tried it. I didn't expect him to understand, so it was fine. Huh? Anyway, if you die, it might make a move on Kaori, so you better stay alive. Don't fucking play off like that, damn it. What'd you mean? Good luck washing the dishes. Hopefully I would convince him to head back to my hut before it's too late. Heard footsteps and breathing following me for a while, but when I heard someone trip, I stopped and turned around. Oh, Rikako. Are you okay, Rikako? Ow. The area was covered in grass, but that didn't make falling here particularly safe. Why are you out so late anyway? Shouldn't you shelter? Could ask you the same, Hiroki. Why are you wasting time fighting? You already took long enough to do the dishes. Wow, a rare sight from Rikako. She was serious, kinda angry, and practically rambling. Well, I was helping someone out. I know. You prevented Yoshi from making a significant error in a very lowbrow manner. Why does it feel like you understand the situation better and know more details than usual? I did not get to speak with you, so I hid within the mist. She was shivering, showing how cold she was. Just how long has she been waiting outside the dining hall? Oh, sorry. Yes, you did say you want to talk. So did Chiemi. Thank you for what you did in the feast. Huh? You could have easily hanged me. Whoa, whoa, I don't want anyone to die. I'm sorry, that was a lie. Wait, no, it wasn't. But there was another thing. I just knew I didn't want to see you or Mako-chan die. What do you mean? I'm not entirely sure myself. Secret talks weren't a good idea. That's why I didn't say anything more. Oh, I have a question for you. Yes? What would you have done if Mako was a wolf? I would hang alongside her. She's quite the character. Anyway, it's all good. Hope to see more of your clumsiness tomorrow. What's wrong with her? Hiroki, what are you saying? Me? Clumsy? How rude, and he's just spitting facts. See you tomorrow. What do you mean by, I already tried it? Ah, she did hear it. Crap. Oh, it's just something random I thought up on the spot. You'd be surprised how convincing mysterious words can be. I do not believe that you have been sent here by the Miguruma. In fact, how do I put it? I believe you are a special someone who came here to dispel this mist. You might find such delusions to be disgusting. However, I too am one who grew up alongside tradition and faith. I live knowing little of the so-called science they speak of on the television. Thus, as I am menaced by superstition, I wish to cling to something that seemed equally absurd. Rikako. I didn't know certain things myself. I also had a thirst for the truth. I couldn't deny that I defied all logic and causality by standing here after experiencing death a few times. Was that meant as a tool to dispel the despair of the feast? Had I been given this power to do that? Was someone telling me to stop this mad ritual no matter how many deaths it took? I had no idea. And because of that, telling her about would just give her false hope. I'd love to be someone like that, but sadly, I'm not all that special. Goddamn fly. It knows exactly where to get me, where I can't get it. But, well, if someone believes that strongly, I feel motivated to do whatever I can. Yes. That's it for today, then. What? She extended her hand to me. A handshake? She nodded. Okay, let's promise to meet each other again tomorrow and shake on it. I took her hand. No. She grasped back tightly. Her fingers were slender and cold. Even if we don't meet again tomorrow, let us meet again in a different life, hopefully a more peaceful one. She let go. Good night and goodbye. Rikako. She disappeared into the mist. I hope for that too. Her footsteps were growing distant. I listened, but it seemed like she'd fallen again. Turn around. It had been a long time since I heard a goodbye. Looked like I wasn't as prepared for this as I thought. I couldn't just assume that I'd loop again if I died. If I did, I'd hardly be staying with the locals who carried the weight of putting their lives on the line. I would give my all to survive this night, and render that cynical promise irrelevant. Then, once everything was solved, I would use her words to tease her. I could just imagine her turning around and squirming. That would probably be adorable beyond relief. Let's not do this. Shania-san's guardians are... I sung the song I learned today and tried to distract myself from the feelings that were beginning to sprout inside me. Barely able to see a thing, I wandered back to my hut. Tore off the page from my notepad, put a pen on the floor, and began to think. Alright, who was I supposed to use my snake powers on? Can I choose? Alright. Let's save it right here. Alright. Most natural idea was to investigate the most likely wolf candidates, but there was a problem with that. Namely, no one seemed to fit the bill. If there was anything wolf-like about anyone so far, it would only be some vague signs that barely meant anything. There were nothing but things that had started to make sense after everything was done. Even I, with all my knowledge of the previous loop, couldn't tell if anyone was acting weird. Thus I had to change my line of thinking. I shouldn't have to force myself to find wolves. I had to confirm the identities of those who could be the most dangerous wolves. Thankfully, we already had convenient leader figures, Kanzo and Yasunaga, on our side. As things were, it didn't look like they were leading the humans into the wrong direction. I also realized they'd been holding themselves back in the previous loop. Yasunaga hadn't been proactive leader because he was a wolf. Well, Kanzo probably didn't want to stand out in order to protect himself because he had some sort of guardian like the spider. The one who noticed that was none other than Yasunaga. He'd realized Kanzo wasn't himself and used it against him. An excellent move on his part. However, we had problems with them being on the same side too. Honestly, they were incompatible. I had hoped they had found some common ground. That aside, since they were both confirmed monkeys, I had to shift my attention to Takumi, who acted as the mediator between the younger and older generations. At first glance, he appeared to be the same as last time, but I couldn't use that to determine whether it was clean or not. Another one I was concerned about was Kiyono. He wasn't popular, but he was noisy and had a certain degree of influence. I couldn't ignore him. Probably derailed the feast, which made him a valuable asset that the wolves probably wanted to keep around to the end. There's another thing, though. He was actually the only one that seemed slightly wolf-like. I had no idea how many were really hesitant about sending people to their death during voting. However, looking at the voting order, they could have easily killed Kiyono, without even having to make a second vote. Yasunaga voted for him, which was probably calculated. He might have seen the guy as a convenient first sacrifice. Then Kaori Mochi voted for him too. Then it was the village youth's turn. He was widely unpopular with them, making him a convenient scapegoat to blame. However, he hadn't gotten any more votes from them. What was I supposed to make of that? The wolves knew one another. I knew this from last time, but this was fair to assume there was a common knowledge among the others. It might have been possible there was a wolf among the village youth, and they purposefully avoided voting for him. One more thing. From my perspective, since he wanted to protect Rikako like me, and would make votes on that basis, it was actually kind of useful to me. Yeah, I had to admit it. I believe Rikako and Mako to be humans. The former was a normal one, while Mako was a spider. I told Mako about it. No need to worry. If you are hesitant, vote for me, not Mako. Rikako had been worried about a feast that would happen soon, which is why she taught Mako about what she had to do. Mako probably didn't have the mental acuity to understand or participate in the feast all on her own. So Rikako might have given Mako some way to convey that she had a guardian. Personal exchange would have been heard by someone, and by extent the wolves. And probably even more certain than what I experienced the way back here. It was safer to consider it a rule. However, if there was a way to pass on information without making it seem important, you could easily converse in secret. That is why I believe Rikako knew that Mako had a guardian and was putting her life on the line to protect her. She also conveyed it to me by telling me to vote for her despite Mako being pretty much a throwaway vote. That was her way of telling me that Mako was important. I didn't know if it attracted anyone else's attention if they realized what Mako was. However, most of the locals probably assumed that Rikako was simply worried for the girl. They simply assumed she was fulfilling her role as one who took in the corruption. That was exactly why people would still be voting for him. Mako's role was probably the same as Kanzo's last time, the spider. That's where Rikako was going so far to hide it. Anyway, that's why I decided they weren't suspicious. If there was another option, it was Mamiya. She survived today's feast by saying that she hadn't checked for a mark on her stomach, but she claimed to have a guardian tomorrow. Could that be trusted? She had nothing tying her to Yasumizu, so no one would trust her. Whether she was wolf or human, I couldn't put it past her to fake having a guardian just to keep herself alive. Those three were the prime targets. Alright. So, this is going to be fun. I was hoping to get the rest of the list, but I'm going to investigate Kiona. Wrote down one of their names, placed the paper next to my pillow, and went to sleep. I have no idea what that symbol meant. Key, Truth of the Doctor. Key 11. You can view it in the keys list. The route unlocked by this key is represented by the same number on the scenario chart. Nice. I was afforded my target's affliction affiliation the same way I was given the Guardian. That was strange, but it clearly happened, so I had no choice but to accept it. Anyway, it was something I had predicted. However, what happened this morning certainly wasn't. Uh-oh. Oh. Everyone's alive. Yeah. No one died last night. Now please, eat up. Oh my god, nobody died. Hell yeah. People in the dining hall were far more cheerful than yesterday morning. It's obvious why. Not one of the neighbors had died. The betrayal they've been warned about ended up not happening at all. Some were probably even beginning to hope that the traitors, the wolves, didn't exist at all. Yasu, Fusaishi, see? No one here is dumb enough to play along with something that stupid. Takumi, who put in the unity of Yasumi's above all else, was especially cheerful. Well, maybe you're right. Yasunaga made a vague smile. It seemed like he was afraid to kill the good vibes here. Kanzo was probably just holding him back from doing that. Kiona looked like he was on the verge of killing the mood with some of his pessimism. So glad that you are all well. Yes, what a blessing. However, he held his tongue, probably out of consideration for Tai and Rikako, who were crying in relief. Hey, what? Yoshi was washing the dishes when he called out to me with a stern voice. What the hell? Nothing happened. What do you mean, nothing? There's something pretty amazing going on here. Huh? You'll know more during the feast. That's got soap all over it. Rita, shut up. Yoshi's helping out? Haven't seen this in years. You shut up too. And don't cheer me on when you trace the plate with your finger. Knock it off. Oh, you noticed? I used my lips though, not my finger. It's a chance for an indirect kiss. Yeah. That's so mean. Chinny, I'm put off too. What do they teach you while you were away? I thought that one up myself. You really are indecent. What the hell are you doing, Kamoshida? Helping, like you. Don't clean with your tongue, damn it. Me too. Stop, there's zero demand for this. Dining hall sure was noisy. Haru even screamed a little. I'll look around again. Those words, Kanzo left. And so we end up spending an eventful morning in the dining hall together. I wasn't the only one absentmindedly watching the clock. Wonder if she's seen anything in her stomach when she checked. Felt like she was waiting for the feast to start, which made it seem like she had something to declare. When Kanzo returned and declared the start of the feast, I felt there would be trouble. No one was against it when he said it, but turned out the trouble was just delayed. Of course. Wow. Alright, we're back here. Nobody died. And I know the truth of the Kyono there. Which means... I wonder. I mean, we actually didn't get revealed to ourselves. We have to reveal it on here. Don't you think it's enough, old man? Takumi said that instead of drinking from the cup. What? Why keep this up? The wolves don't want to kill the humans. Of course it would be the one to suggest that. Just how naive are you? You don't understand the situation at all. The wolves went to attack someone that the spider protected. What are you getting at? Exactly. No one died simply because the wolves went for the one who was protected by the spider. That was exactly it. Yasunaga, Haru, and even Taya turned hostile last time. It's best to assume that those with wolf's blessing would accept it and begin the murders. The spider couldn't protect themselves, meaning that they could pick one out of the 14 people. 1/14 is about 7%. I believe we should be thankful for our good fortune, consider using the feast to dispose of the wolves. So you think the chance that the wolves refused their job is lower than 7%? They would have been killed by the corruption. Indeed, I believe it to be 0. You really do know something, don't you? What's going on here? I don't know. Then why are you so certain? Merely believe we should be realistic about our situation. Listen, humans are generally peaceful creatures. So you believe that humans are intrinsically good? I don't know about this stuff, but peace is kept up because it's dangerous to ruin it. As long as it's protected, most people are safe. You know how no one got hanged yesterday? We have wolves with us, right? How did it turn out that way? Being too optimistic. We simply failed to get the correct distribution of votes. Probably split the vote to protect you. Everyone stared at Mochi in surprise. What do you mean? Well, no one voted for Uncle after Yasu and Mami Kiori and I, right? We needed just one more vote, but I didn't get it. That makes it seem like the wolves protected one of their own. So the wolves among those that came after. Wait, are you saying I'm a wolf? Hey, just wanted to mess with Uncle. Sorry. Mochi reached the same conclusion I had. I couldn't tell if he was that sharp or it was just so simple anyone could figure it out. I appreciate if you don't take Mochi's casual remarks seriously, but that was a possibility. Can't be too optimistic. So you're just gonna hang someone even though no one died? Someone's already died. Mamiya's sudden shouts attracted everyone's attention. Or what? Hashimoto wasn't a person to you? Shut up. What happened to him is horrible, but it's not like that was done by one of us. Why are you so certain? Because the wolf killings and the corruption are two different things. Takumi, can I have a moment? What is it? I don't want to kill anyone. I'm a bit worried. We're to follow Shinaya's rules. The only way for us to fight the wolves is to hang them in the feast. I'm worried that throwing that away would mean the death of us all. Hey, that's why you might start to think that anyone suggested to throw this method away is actually a wolf. Takumi looked around and noticed the chill air in the air about him. He noticed about a certain worry, but mixed it with a certain suspicion. Kanzo. We're hanging someone today. Refuse that and you're a friend of the wolves. I don't want to kill anyone either. Soft, but not as soft as Takumi. See what I had in mind? Then what are we supposed to do? We don't decide who to hang yesterday. You think that's going to change? Not everything's the same. The outsider lady alluded to probably got something to say. That's true. Let's hear him out. If everyone is against killing in spite of what they say, there'd be nothing left for us to do, right, Kanzo? That ain't happening. Alright, speak up, you two. We won't get anywhere otherwise. I'll start then. I am the snake. She is not the snake. I am the snake. Huh? Really? You looked and saw the mark? Yes, I am. That's why I used my power to look into someone. There was no way. She's trying to oust the real snake. But isn't that dangerous to reveal now? The snake is extremely important. I'm saying that I found out something that makes up for that. Tai is a wolf. The move for the feast suddenly did a complete 180. She's a wolf! Liar, you're the wolf here. They screamed and were about to charge at each other. The others had to hold them back. Watch out, stop. No one's suspecting you. Mamiya-san, stop. This won't help anyone. A strange fervor filled the small hall. I was getting really uncomfortable here. Does she turn to the badger? Or is she a wolf? Do any others claiming to be the snake? What's that supposed to mean? Please don't shout. If you really are the snake, then you keep your cool. Lack of another snake is one of the conditions for us to believe you are the real one. Again, do we have any other? What's my best option here? Since I was the real snake, she was definitely a fake and was clearly talking with ill intent. That meant I had to out myself. Otherwise, she would take control of the situation. That was the right thing to do. The right way to go about it. I knew that well. But I couldn't help but feel I was in an extremely difficult situation here. Damn. If I had actually looked into her, I might have been able to go with it. $11. Well, this is going to be a branching path. I'm going to put myself in the crosshairs. Now wasn't the time to rely on baseless intuition. If I kept my silence now and tried to come out as a snake later, I couldn't expect my words to hold much weight. It was okay. Given the situation, I was sure I could get people to believe me over Mamiya. I'm sorry. That moment, I became the target of everyone's attention. I felt that there were boring holes in me. I am the snake. What? So now Fushaishi has declared himself to be the snake. Anyone else? Do you really think a third person will step up? Honestly, no, but better safe than sorry. Anyone else? As expected, no one stepped up. You're a wolf, aren't you? Can't you all tell? Now a second wolf has revealed themselves. Mamiya's outburst was also expected. She spent some time ranting afterwards, but piped down after Kanzo told her to shut her mouth. Is it safe to assume that one of them is telling the truth? I believe so. Incidentally, who did you investigate with the power of the snake, Fusaishi? Nosato. He's human. Okay. So Nosato's in the clear. These three are in the clear, and these two are probably in the clear, along with me. But she is hella suspicious. Well, I am indeed a human. That is enough to prove my innocence. If he were a wolf, he'd just tell the truth. That is true, but the reception to my claim was rather dicey. There were those who believed me and those who doubted me from the start and still did. I didn't feel like I'd change anyone's minds. What were we supposed to do? Now's not the time for pessimism. We still have enough to go off and make a decision, so for the time being... Wow! Fuck you, man. We hang the reporter, then the city boy, then Taiba. Fuck you. Maybe you are a wolf. Wait, what? A dumbfounded silence dominated the hall a few seconds as everyone struggled to process what he'd said. Oh man, what are you saying? What are you thinking? Wolves must be hanged. Hold on a minute. Evidence aside, it's obvious who's the most suspicious one here is right. You'll get offed if you try to judge this with your nature. It wasn't exactly wrong. On the other hand, my nature was suspicious, so it felt there was a strong and biased doubt toward me. It wasn't fair to base it on double standards, but people in Yasubiza would just look at me the same way as Mamiya if I complained about that. Let me ask you something, Kanzo. Your logic is based around hanging anyone suspicious, not simply hanging those who claim to have a guardian, correct? Otherwise, no one else would dare claim to have a guardian after this. If they could prove themselves clean, there wouldn't be a need to hang them, right? But right now... Exactly, right now I believe all of us are suspicious, so you shouldn't be jumping to hang the three of us just yet. I agree. I believe that Fusaishi and Mamiya should try using their guardians again and again. Yasunaga sure was reliable. He jumped on the conclusion I was going to make ahead of time and told everyone increasing its credibility more than I could have. Kanzo didn't look satisfied, but it didn't seem he could find solid grounds to argue. So what are we supposed to do, Aniki? Should we vote for the old hag? Quite the opposite. At any rate, since we put Fusaishi and Mamiya aside for now, we'll have to vote for someone else. I mean, if they hang her and they find out, and the crow finds out that she was a human, she's dead. If they hang her and she was a wolf, I'm dead. It's not good. Someone. I believe we should all decide on one of the investigation targets. I consider that too, but I believe voting for someone else is more merit. I see. You're saying we should take a vote based on everyone's logic, and not a vote based on people who may be covering for one another. Exactly. I'll put it another way so the rest of you understand easier. Starting tomorrow, Fusaishi and Mamiya will investigate their own targets and announce the results. Eventually, they should reach a mutually contradictory outcome. When that time comes, we can decide which of them to hang. For example, if Taiba really is a human, she knows that Mamiya is lying, and thus will know she's right to vote for her. That's right, I know. But if Taiba is a wolf, Mamiya has already gone out of her way to become her enemy, so Taiba will have to vote against her regardless. That way, Mamiya can restrict her actions. She won't be able to sway the humans' votes in any way. When you take that into account, Taiba's actions are already restricted, so there's no need for us to rush now. I mean, more important to prioritize restricting more people's actions the same way? Right. And eventually, once we determine whether Fusaishi or Mamiya is lying, we'll review all the results up until then. And if we need to, we'll just hang them afterwards. Did you get that? Yes. Yeah, I did. So what you're saying is wait for more clues to come out and vote for anyone who wasn't investigated today? I'm against hanging, but that's what you're all going to choose, and I want to go with Yasu's plan. I agree. I believe it's best not to treat those who claim to have guards too carelessly for now. But if we manage to eliminate a wolf early on, the rest will feel psychologically cornered and be more likely to slip up. At the very least, the fact that this blockhead is complaining means this is a good idea, don't it? I wanted to point out how rude that was, but chose to keep quiet after realizing I wasn't in a position to speak my mind. Old man. Let's vote already. Kanzo probably hadn't changed his mind, but the fact he was letting his vote start me wasn't denying that going with Yasunagi's plan was logical. He probably acknowledged that the plan made a certain amount of sense too. He was just proud to admit it. It wasn't the players' powers relationship and the rationality and validity of their actions that had a little influence here. It was also the personality's preference and standing. In that respect, politics were a game and the feast of the only purge was politics, meaning the feast was a game of sorts. Anyway, I wouldn't be gathering any votes for this round, neither would Mamiya. No. Wait. Wasn't this bad? Does anyone not want to vote? Takumi raised his own hand. Chemi hesitated, but didn't go for it in the end, leaving him all alone. Fine. That's enough. We'll vote who to hang starting from the head. Well, the issue being is now the spider has to figure out who to protect. I think the spider is going to protect Mamiya, and I'm going to die now. Then the voting began with no regard for my concern. You. Me again? What a messed up old timer. I'm voting for the journal lady. As expected, you voted for the most suspicious one there. I vote for you. I don't know about the others, but I know for sure you're a wolf. Go right ahead. Mamiya seemed to have regained some of her cool. Though she already had 2 votes, you probably could tell she wouldn't get much more after this. Go on Mako again. Takumi, please, if you're going to vote for Mako, vote for me instead. You're fishy too, but trying to cover for her makes her even fishier. Mike, we got one more vote. Perhaps it would be best to try to lead things in another direction. After all, I knew she was the only one reliable. I vote for Rikako. More prejudice against village heads. This turns out to be the undoing the people of Yasumitsu. Don't say I didn't warn you. It's alright, Desato. Who will you vote for? I still think Fusaishi is suspicious, but it's true I want more proof first, so with that in mind, I vote for Chiemi. Huh? Why me? Because you don't seem to be on anyone's side. First you say we shouldn't hang anyone, then you suddenly forsake Takumi? I see your point. I was trying to do the humane thing and hesitate, but I guess everyone else already decided to kill. That's why I hate this crazy village. Chiemi's cold words filled the hall with an awkward silence. That was proof there were some people out there who knew they couldn't exactly deny what she said. But just as I was wondering how things came to this, I voted for Uematsu. As for why, it's because of that big act she put on yesterday, which she asked to be voted for. I believe she was trying to copy Chiene without even thinking it through and failed. You'd vote for her just because you found that unnatural? It's quite alright. No, it isn't. You should value your own life a little more, Rikako. Why should it matter? I am all that is left of the Uematsu, and there are those who wish me dead. No one will miss me. So if I have a chance to throw my life away, I wish to take it. That was cool, Reach. I could never go that far. Anyway, my turn. You're up, Uncle. Fly like a bird. What the hell is that supposed to be? Vote was all over the place. God damn it. Currently, Mamiya and Rikako were set in the top 2 votes each, while Meiko, Chiemi, Kiyono, and I had 1 each. But just when it came to me, it was the youth's turn to vote. I ain't doing this because of what Kamoshida said. I'm voting for the Nosato block, and we don't need no village heads here. He's human, damn it. I won't go that far, but since you voted for me, I have no objections for you, Nosato. So that's my vote. Why, you? If I don't Nosato, we don't need you anymore. Jesus Christ. I can't protect him like this. There's just 4 left, including me. I vote for myself. Sticking that, are you? You do realize it's unlikely to die today. I still do not believe Nosato should die. You shouldn't! Rikako, no, but that doesn't mean you should die in my stead. The old man. What? Damn, Meiko. Makishima is no wolf. But then, the other old man. There we go. Get him. Oh man. Ah. What's up with this vote? Kiyono had 4 votes, where Rikako had 3. My option were either co-sign Kiyono to his fate, throw Rikako into danger, or vote for someone else entirely and leave Mamiya to deal with that dilemma. In other words, leaving up to a confirmed liar. No, I couldn't. I was confident I had interpreted Rikako's actions correctly. So I vote for Nosato. Sorry. I don't believe you're a wolf, it's just Mamiya was the only other one with 2 votes. And if I voted for her, there was no way she'd vote for herself, so trying to pit Kiyono against her would be pointless. However, I knew telling him wouldn't do him any good. Can't afford to lose Rikako. I knew those words were probably the last thing I wanted to hear. Last thing he wanted to hear. Still, couldn't let that excuse, that reason, go unsaid. Not when he could understand it too. I see. It's made 5 votes. Morally, everyone understood it was the humans who deserved to survive, not the wolves. But in the end, Kiyono had been unable to prove his life held more meaning than a wolf would reveal useful information while still alive. I'll vote for Uematsu. I believe her actions are unnatural. Bring the rope. Sorry, Nosato. I actually tried to save you. I knew you weren't a wolf, but this is sad. Shinai-san's guardians are: pass through the mist and walk toward the graveyard. 5. Prepare the feast when the evening mists come. Everyone's singing prayer to Shinai. Shinai-san's guardians are: I couldn't tell who had started or when they did so. 8. Death of the damned Yomabito is the mandate. He is a human, so technically, according to the wolves, he is a Yomabito. The sobbing mixed with singing made it seem like an old funeral, but it was actually an execution. Painfully slowly, we walked through the path leading to the cliff next to Serenega. I was already used to this thanks to all the cleanups. 7. The corrupt Yomabito rise to oppose the mountain. Before I knew it, Ian Mamiya and I joined the scene, creating a perfect unity in the group. Eventually, we reached our destination. It was downhill, beyond the trees, wet with dew, and a grass field covered in stones marking the lives of those who used to live here. Strangely enough, the aged pine tree right at the end could be seen easily despite the mist. As we stopped, so did the song and emotion. Nosato, forgive me for my powerlessness. There is nothing to forgive. He gave me a glance. You have to protect Rikako. Even he understands that I'm doing everything I can to protect her too. That was all he said. I understand. I didn't actually want to say that. It didn't sound like he simply meant to protect her for the rest of the feast when he said that. But the survivors had the obligation to honor the dead's last wishes. Are you sure of this? Yes. To have you push my back has been a long-cherished ambition of mine. Rise not. Rise not. And then, Kiyono's body fell from the bottom of the misty cliff, and the hanging rope stopped due to the fatal impact. We let a horrifying death wail. Afterwards, we all returned to the dining hall, where Kaori and I served light lunch while time passed by. Everyone tried to act as normal as possible. They tried to convince themselves that Kiyono shouldn't have been in Yasubi's in the first place, so his absence was only natural. However, it was clear that they felt guilty for committing murder. Killing someone no one liked to talk as though none of it had ever happened was a horrible group mentality. But that was the truth of the Feast of the Omi Purge. It was kill or be killed, and unfortunately it was next to impossible to finish the feast without wasting a life. Chatted away with the others with these thoughts, and my mind a certain concern ate away at me. Much as I felt bad about it, I didn't kill Kiona. Had I made the wrong move in the end? Had I let someone who should have been purged live so I could save myself? No, that didn't mean this was a failure. There was a high chance my fears were unfounded. I was overthinking things. I knew I was, but for some reason, I felt the presence of beasts. Couldn't help but feel that. Who knows? I'm not good at reasons, but well, when Takumi said he was a snake, I had a bad feeling come over me. Interesting. Oh, it felt like I could hear the wolves laughing. Felt like I now understood that feeling. Had I fallen right into their trap? Oh, I'm dead. That worry plagued me all the way through dinner and bedtime. If Hisako's false declaration was suicide attack meant to weed out the real snake, there was a chance she'd be coming for me despite knowing she'd be the prime suspect for sure the next day. In that case, which of those two snakes would the spider protect? Right now, they're two self-proclaimed snakes. Should I have tried to crush Hisako, even if it meant getting a little too desperate and being suspected by the others as a result? No, it was okay. If I was right about Mako being the spider and Rikako controlling her, then Rikako would surely protect me. If it was between Mamiya and I should definitely choose me. Those thoughts bounced back and forth from lunch. All the way until I drowsily wrote someone's name down and put it under my pillow. Oh, this is game over. I don't get to choose. I'm dead. And then I lost consciousness. I'm dead. In the end, I never woke up. Guess that figures. After all, only the spider themselves knew what they were thinking. The wolves must have aimed their claws at me, taking the risk that the spider hadn't chosen me. And they won their bet, so that was that. Couldn't tell if that was what I thought when I died. It was all so vague. I lay in a comatose slumber. It was there my life met its end and faded in the mist that covered all. Game over. Bad ending number 13. Watch the hint corner? You know what? I didn't show these off, but these aren't, like, extremely spoilery. They're just giving you ideas of what keys you've unlocked and what they might be used for. That's it. So yeah, I'll show this off, and that'll be it for tonight. You've done it now, eh, Chief? You finally participated in the feast, and you purged fair and square. It's going to get rough from here on out. So chin up and listen to the hint. Bad ending 13. Honesty is not always a virtue. Death. You may have gotten this one for faithfully following basic werewolf strategy. Humans don't lie, so you thought you should reveal your guardian and expose Hisako as a fraud. That's not wrong. However, you have to remember that you're not playing with an actual team. That is right. I am playing with randos here, and it is bloody. In Werewolf, it's okay to choose to sacrifice yourself. It means your team wins. But Haruaki loops back when he dies. He can't go past this. Just as he feared, there's a high chance this was trapped by the wolves. They had no other option but to make a selfish choice. So I'll be blunt here. Go to 5, wit, reveal guard, and make the appropriate choice. It's just telling me go back to the absolute last decision I made. Not go back to any other previous times. Well, that's all for this time. Die another hearty death next time. 1 sheep, 2 sheep. Chart. Come on. Chart. Wit. Damn. See, I have to do all this, and then I get 3 keys from this. I could go back and just grab every key. But we're going to go back to here. And I'm going to save. And that'll be it for this time. So next time, I'll either do a Armored Core. I might do this. I might do a game with friends. If I'm doing a game with friends, it might be Party Animals, it might be Payday. It all depends on what we're doing. So, until next time, I'd like to thank you all for coming. And this is Faramir, signing out. Good night.